Hello everyone, welcome to GameTechUK and a GT Sport VR video. Before we get on with today's video, popping up top right of your screen will be my GT Sport playlist. Everything in there from live streams, helpful videos, VR livery videos, everything in there regarding GT Sport is in that playlist. So if you're interested in GT Sport, feel free to subscribe. Follow me over on Twitch because that's where I live stream GT Sport every single week with open lobbies and championships. So feel free to follow me on Twitch. The link to that is the first line of the description. So let's get on with today's video. So with GT Sport giving free tracks and free cars almost every single month, it's attracted a lot of new players to the game. All the time when I'm live streaming GT Sport, I get a lot of new players coming in saying, oh, I've just brought the game, it's on sale, or I brought it second hand, or I've been given a copy, or I brought a copy, and I want to know more about the game. Also with PlayStation VR, more and more people are getting involved in PlayStation VR, and not a lot of people know exactly what can be done within GT Sport in the VR section. I get a lot of questions all the time. Is this game in VR? Can you play against friends in VR? So what we're going to do in this video is go through exactly what can be done with your PlayStation VR headset and GT Sport. So the first thing you have to do to actually gain access to the VR portion of the game is go across to arcade. It is actually quite hidden, really. It's not really obvious where the VR section is, but you go to arcade, and down the very bottom you've got VR Tour. Once clicked, that will prompt you to get the headset on. So let's do just that. So once you've got your headset on, you're presented with three options, and in this video I'm going to take you through each and every option there. But we're going to start with VR Drive, and this was the original the original game mode within VR. The newish inclusion is VR Time Trial. In VR Drive, you can basically do 2 laps from any track and pretty much any car. The only cars that you can't use are the cars that don't have an interior view, and there's only a couple of them in the game. So you are presented here, as you can see, with every single track in the game can be raced in VR, so it doesn't limit you that way, and that is a great inclusion. It's great that they have given you every single track is fantastic. So let's go to Brands Hatch. Now you can choose every variation as well. They haven't given you just the main one, it's every single variation. So let's go to the Indy circuit, and you can choose most of the daytime settings that are included in the 2D version. So we can go all the way from dawn to dusk. So we'll just go, let's go in sunset. Now here, if you are new to the game and you're literally just putting it on for the first time, you're not going to have many cars. So you can use the cars that are given to you as part of the arcade mode. So you can jump in any one of these cars. You don't have to have cars available. So if you are just buying the game and you want to jump straight in, you can do with all these cars. And the presentation, as always, is second to none in Gran Turismo. Look, it's giving you the height, it's giving you everything. Alternatively, you can choose your own car, and you go over to the left to garage cars, and you can pick anything you want to. I'm going to go in the Mclaren F1. Now, I haven't actually tried this in VR. This is a lovely car that I raced recently for 24 hours as part of my 24-hour charity live stream. We're going to go in the McLaren. We're going to go manual. And what it's going to do is it's going to put us against, as you can see down the bottom there, an M6 GT3. So it's going to give me a opponent. It's only one-on-one racing. So you do 2 laps on a one-on-one race against the AI. That was the only mode that was available. So if you want to race against anyone, this is the only mode that you can do it in. You can't configure the difficulty level. So even if we come up to race settings, you've only got change conditions. You can change the car again. You can change the car from recommended or garage and change the track. So you can't change the difficulty level. But what you can do is you can still save the replay. You can still go in and change all of your setup as well. So we don't want them on hard. We want them on super softs. So you can change everything there. The fantastic thing that this is for is learning the track and also just experiencing the track from a slightly different angle as well, the VR angle, which is amazing. So let's get in and have this 2-lap race against the AI. And it's just amazing. It just blows my mind every time. Every single time with VR is amazing. Right, so there's my opponent. And we're around the lovely Brands Hatch. Now this opponent is not going to be particularly hard to beat, especially if he goes over there. So I'm just holding back just so we can see what it looks like in VR behind. I mean, the VR is just done. It's magnificent actually, considering it runs like this on the PlayStation standard as well. I currently run a Pro, but it's lovely. The VR is absolutely perfect. I'm just running up behind him here. Go on, I'm giving you a chance here. Oh, we're choosing the main. Oh, we chose the main circuit, didn't we? Okay, that's fine. But what I'm getting at is the sense of scale of the car. The car is absolutely amazing. Look at this car. And as you go through the different areas on the track of light and shade, all happens on the interior of the car as well. We're not racing this opponent, we're just staying behind him. But as you can probably imagine, I mean, I'm taking it really, really easy. And I could easily keep up with him or beat him. So this isn't a challenge. What it is a showcase to just give you a different view of what your game can actually do. So as well as racing in the daily races and the FIA, you can put your headset on and just do this. Saw the dust pop up from his rear wheels there. I mean, it really is quite special. It really is, and all these knobs and switches. They're just fantastic. It's very, very impressive, really impressive. So that's that's good. Look, you can just look out the side window. I mean, it is pretty amazing. One thing that we haven't got is racing against human beings. You can't go onto a multiplayer lobby and race against humans. It's just not possible. Is it going to be possible in this generation? I'm still not sure. I think I'm verging on the point of doubtful now whether we're actually going to be able to race against our friends. Look at the detail in the track though. It is very, very cool. And we're in the Mclaren F1, the BMW engined version. It's lovely, you know, and all the cars are modelled to this standard. You know, you're not missing out anything by choosing a different car. You know, you're just not. Let's put the old windscreen wipers on. Everything works in VR. You can just lift your head up and look out. You know, it's just the VR aspect of this game, although limited, what is there is absolutely amazing, and I still love it. I love this game to bits anyway. Absolutely adore this game. I always have done. And we have had a few issues with it. A lot of them are getting ironed out. A lot of them are getting forgotten and swept under the carpet. But overall, we have got a fantastic racing game here. But look at the way the sun comes in, and it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So that is a VR drive. That's a one-on-one against the AI, which he can easily win. I don't think he's anywhere near. He's literally, he's not anywhere near. Here he comes. Here he comes. Just looking in the rearview mirror. Yeah, we got him. We got him. And just everything just looks so large as life. It really, really is cool. So that is the VR drive section. Next up is VR time trial, and the main difference between the two is the fact that there's no AI in the game, so it's just you, but you are time trialing with your ghost, and it is very, very handy. Where should we go? Let's go to Mount Panorama. Let's go at night time actually. Let's see what it's like at night time in VR. I honestly don't think I've ever done this track and car combo in VR. The car I want is the Zonda. Now this Zonda is so special in VR. It is amazing. So let's have a look at that. Right, so I've probably chosen the wrong type of track to show off in VR, certainly only because it's just so dark, and I'm not sure what you can see, so I'm only going to do a very small portion of this track, but just to show you how amazing it is, and the reflection of the street lamps or the racing lamps inside the car is spectacular. Honestly, it really is. So I'll just do a little bit of this track because it is just so dark. It's just so dark. A little flash of our lights. It's quite cool though. I mean, it really does feel like you're driving this car at night. Yeah, this is cool. Oh my god, it's really dark. Really dark. The sky seems a little bit lighter up here, so I'll just carry on for a second just to give you an idea of the variations that you can choose more than anything within the game. You can flash our lights up there. And as you can see, I mean, well, I'm hoping you can see, we're not going to stay here for very long, but as you can see, they're not holding back on the detail. It's exactly the same detail that look at those lights, look at the effect on them lights. That looks really cool. You know, they are giving you the exact level of detail that you're used to in the main game. This is really cool actually. Right, it's too dark here, let's take you somewhere else. So we're still in the Zonda, but we're at Scuba in the blistering sunshine. It's fantastic sitting here. It's nice and bright. You can see all the details of the car. I love the Zonda. The Zonda is an amazing car, and again, amazing in VR. I love all the details. Look at the size of the... I was going to put my hands on them then. The actual sheer size of the paddles are huge. And one thing I do love about this car is the rev counter is built into the middle of the steering wheel. How cool. It's a work of art. It's truly a work of art. But we're at Scuba now, and in VR time trial, the only thing you've got is you and the track. Now that might sound quite bare and quite uninteresting, but once you start going around, you do get a ghost of your previous fastest lap, which can be really, really helpful. So say for example you're interested in a certain a daily race, for example, maybe it's at Scuba, you can come on here and just practice with the car, with the track, and just get a slight advantage on knowing all the terrain, you know, just knowing the track a little bit more intimately than you would do in 2D. So you'll see now when we go past the start finish, we're being presented with our ghost, and you've got ghosting options. You can turn the ghost off if you want to. You can change the penalty settings as well within the actual VR time trial. Maybe I didn't do... Oh no, I didn't do a full lap, did I? Let's do another full lap and I'll be able to show you the ghost. But this car is just amazing. It really, really is. It's quite a handful. It's in GRX category, which I'm not a fan of GRX. GRX is... They put anything they don't know what to include, they put in GRX. I wish this was, say, in N1000 or N900. I think it would be raced a lot more rather than being lost in the GRX category. But what a lovely, lovely car. Right, so we should get the ghost now. Gonna come around tight on the apex. Oh, and there's our ghost. Okay, so there is our ghost, and it is actually presented as a ghost. So that is our best lap so far. So you can use that as a real point of reference for improving certain areas, or watching, you know, watching yourself. How many times have you thought, oh, I'll watch a replay to see where I'm going wrong? Well, in VR, you can do it directly in front of you. You can stay behind your own ghost, for example, studying your own lines and thinking, I'm going to go a little bit tighter on that corner. It's helpful. It's useful. If you're into your racing and into your improving, you can actually use the VR time trial as a real tool to help you improve and get to know tracks better as well. That's the main reason I think it's of use, is to get to know tracks a lot better. You know, you can only see so much in 2D, and this just looks completely different in VR. It, you know, it really does. That the track looks a lot wider. The undulations in the corners and the terrain, it's just so much more obvious in VR, and you can help memorize where them nuances are in the track, and you know, put that to use when you are racing in 2D, and help to improve and become a better driver. So this is VR time trial. So it's just you and the open track against your ghost. If you want it, you can turn that off. You can change penalty settings as well. Again, you've got all access to your full tuning settings, so you can come here. You can come to a track purely to work on your settings. You know, you can work on your canvas settings, your different tyre choices, all ready for the race in 2D. So the third and final thing you can do within GT Sport using your PlayStation VR is go to the VR showroom, and I love the VR showroom. I think it's underrated, and it's you know, if you're a car lover, you are absolutely going to adore this. So you can go into the VR showroom, and very similar to the two previous modes, if you didn't have any cars, you can go to the normal cars, or you can go to your garage. So I'm going to have a look at this Super Formula, which is one of my most favourite cars in Gran Turismo from the recent additions and the updates. Now what you can do is just, and I say just, you can just look and oogle and just dream over these cars. Now I'm using the TGT, the Gran Turismo wheel, which has got two analog sticks on there, so I don't need to necessarily get the controller out. I can use the analog sticks on here. But all you can do, and I do mean all you can do, is just look. You can just look at the car, but looking at your car in this particular mode will just give you a sense of detail that you've never encountered in any game. I certainly haven't. Look, you can look for. Actually, you can only look forward so much. If you're too close, the screen goes black, just like it did then. So you can only get so close, which is a little bit frustrating. But you can look at the you can look at the detail of the tire and see all the formation of the rubber on there. It just looks amazing. Yeah, and you can do this to any car. And the cars have got so much detail. Look at all the exhaust and the rear axle. Not too close. The exhaust and the rear axle is just, it's just so special. If you're a car lover like me, or you just want to show someone what VR can do without having to jump around and pretend you've got the Nintendo Wii strapped to your face and just do loads of press ups and sit ups. No, you just want to look at what VR is capable of showing you. Look at the steering wheel, look, all the steering wheel shaft behind it. It's just so cool. It really, really is. It's very, very special. Anything you do with liveries, you could, if you wanted to. If you wanted to make sure it looked really, really cool, yeah, you can take it out on the track and look at the replay. You could also come into VR showroom mode and just see how it looks. Look at the brake calipers. Look at the. It's just so much detail. So much detail. Let's look at another car. So this is the Red Bull X 2019, one of the most recent additions to the game. I haven't looked at this in VR, and don't forget this is full size in front of you, and you can stand up if you want to. I'm sitting down, obviously, but you can stand up and be a lot higher than the car, really making it even look actually more realistic for you as you would in the real world. But yeah, what an amazing, amazing car this is. I've already done a VR video on this one, but just to see it, and I mean the term loosely, but to see it in the flesh, because you are. I mean, for all intents and purposes, I've got my headset on. But yeah, this is real, and you can press triangle as well to turn the lights on as well, which is quite cool. So we can come around here and turn the lights on, which is just so cool. It's a lovely, lovely car. Fantastic to drive, that one. It really, really is. Let's look at another car. Ferrari F40. How many times can you not only have a look at this car in real life, but get a chance to really take your time and have a good look around? Look at the interior. Look, I've been lucky enough to sit in one of these, and they are amazing cars. But you can do it to your heart's content, and you can look at all the detail. It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Look at all. Oh my God, you can see in all the rear grille. Look at this. Look. It's very, very good. It is very good. But this is purely a car lover's mode. If you love cars and have got a passion for cars and the history behind cars, being able to have your own F40, because that is my Ferrari F40. That's the difference. That's what Gran Turismo does. That's my F40. I know how much mileage is on the clock, because when you're driving, you can actually see the mileometer go up. This is the level of detail this car has got. That's my F40. So to look at it here, I know this car. I know this car. I've tuned it. I've raced it many, many times. This is my F40. So it does give it that personal touch that I just don't seem to find in other games, and I've always seemed to found in GT Sport or Gran Turismo is that personal attachment to your cars, and it is absolutely amazing. So that pretty much sums up exactly what you can do with your PlayStation VR headset and GT Sport currently summer 2019. Really hoping for some updates as well as the monthly updates they do to the 2D side. Wouldn't it be great if we saw some improvements to the VR? I'm not sure whether we're going to get them this generation. A small part of me thinks what I've just shown you there, that's it. That's all you're going to get, as well as adding the tracks as we get them. But that is pretty much it. What the things I'm hoping for are obviously multiplayer. Now, I don't expect to have 16 grid multiplayer all working in VR, even if it was one-on-one multiplayer. It would be absolutely fantastic. We could have some great streams taking on people one at a time. I think it would be absolutely fantastic. Even if it's one-on-one and not every track. So maybe with the upcoming update for the rain, for example, I'm not expecting every track to have rain. I think as we go through the months, they'll progress and be added to more and more tracks. So even if the one-on-one multiplayer was only available on a couple of tracks, that would actually really make me happy as well. If they wasn't going to do that, I think what they should do in the VR time trial mode is just add a global leaderboard. That would add some competitive reason to keep playing, to keep trying. So your track, your car combo should have a global leaderboard. I think that would be fantastic. And again, with the livery editor, wouldn't that be great to actually do that in VR and have control of the car as well? So it's not always a full size car. You could shrink it down, move it around. Again, I don't think that's going to happen, but wouldn't that be fantastic? So that's it, everyone. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe before you go. Leave me a comment in the comment section below, letting me know what you expect or what you would like to see in terms of updates on the PlayStation VR. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, because that's where we're live streaming Gran Turismo Sport every single week. Races, championships. The best place to learn more about that is in Discord. The link to that is in the description below. But that is it, everyone. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next one.